let's see how we do. Okay. All right, let's see if we got this down pat. That looks a bit high. All right, let's lower that a little. Woo. Woo. Let's hold you there. Oh gosh, let me mute that. Ooh. All right, that's a little better. All right, let's have a look. I'm looking kind of funny today. Okay. So we are finally live. So this live stream is following the Heart of the Lion alignment, which came yesterday. Although with big portals like these and big energies like from the star constellation of Leo, so this is no minor energy. It's connecting with the brightest star in the Leo constellation, which was Regulus. And Regulus and the Leo energy, this is igniting us with all of this energy and giving us all of this enthusiasm and passion and much, much more. So stay tuned and you will find out. So I'm going to start by pulling a card. We also very recently, a couple of days ago, we had the new moon as well. So there's lots of new start energy. Hence why I named this video Cosmic Start, because it's all about new beginnings. There's like so much I need to catch you guys up on my little magnificent circle. So if you're new watching here, then hello, welcome into the circle. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back again, and I hope you continue to find my videos and streams interesting and entertaining and educating. Oh, but yeah, it's been a funny few weeks or months. Funny few months, yeah. Ups and downs, roller coasters, but things are good, and that is the main thing. So let's see what Spirit has for us as a first message around the Regulus alignment. Okay, so we have Three of Cups. Interesting. Okay, so Three of Cups. So threes in a reading will sometimes represent more than one person. So it may be if you're in a certain situation, this situation is gonna involve more than just you yourself and somebody. You yourself, more than just you and somebody else. It's likely going to be another energy, another person who's going to be involved in that as well. But the Three of Cups represents, it is like a joyous occasion. So this is representing celebration. So it's interesting that connects with the Regulus sort of Leo energy, because Leos, I'm not much of a party animal myself, but I do like a good party sometimes. But it's all about that liveliness, that Leo energy, that fierceness, that flawless. Like if you think of like the flawless vibes that you give each other. Okay. So Stephanie Peter says hi. Hi, Stephanie. So Three of Cups. The stone which goes with this card is aquamarine. So along with that Regulus energy, it's also going to bring in a bit of restless energy for us. So there may be some of us who are absolutely filled with energy, which came from the cosmos, this cosmic energy, which is just absolutely invigorated us, maybe a little too much, some of us. Some people may not be able to handle all of this extra energy, and we may be feeling a bit restless, and we're not, we may feel like we're not physically capable of using all of this energy, or it, for some of us, this may even be shown as a restless or sort of lethargic or lack of energy. You may have that much energy, but you've kind of gone full circle, and you kind of feel so live, so alive, so invigorated, so energized that you've completely crashed out the other end because it's been a bit too much. So, but this energy, if if it's if it's used in the right way, if you tap into it in the right way, you can focus it in the right way. And this is all to do with your being, maybe focusing on your what you're manifesting for the new moon, focusing on where you're wanting to direct energy. If you're directing energy outwards, the energy which you're drawing in from the cosmos, from the cosmic spirit, from source spirit, whoever. But if you're sending your energy out and setting your intentions, so we can do this in multiple ways, very easy ways that you can send your intentions out into the world is meditations, affirmations, journaling. All of these are good ways to really get into your own head, or really cement, put those thoughts into like a concrete form, so that it is visible for you to see and for the universe to see. So once you're making a journal, or once you're saying a prayer or affirmation, it's kind of making it into the physical. Before it was just a mental, or it was just a thought. But once you take it, bring it into the physical realm, whether it's through sound or whether it's through some other means, then you're then giving it life and you're getting the ball rolling. So that restless energy can then be put to good use. Okay. Let's have another one of those cards. Jazzy Jaziel says hi as well. Hi, Jaziel. Okay, let's pull another card for us. Oops, I just dropped a number of cards. So 2 cards, that's interesting. But I'm gonna roll with it. Let's see what cards we have. Whew, damn. Shizzle. So Shizzle. So these, I've just managed to drop 2 major arcana cards. And I usually if I drop a couple of cards, especially if it's more than 2 cards, I would maybe choose one of them. But I feel like because it was only 2 cards, I felt drawn that both of these cards were relevant, and it's kind of showing correct. They're both major arcana cards. So when you have major arcana cards like the Magician and the Hanged Man, when you have that in a reading, this represents like major life choices. This represents things which, like, the people upstairs, so whether that's spirit, whoever, the higher powers that you believe in, it, this is stuff that your team, your spiritual team, is working on. So the Hanged Man, the message with this card, it says, I can see this situation in another way. I can see this situation in another way. Interesting. I can see the situation in another way. And I love how the tree looks so golden. If you look at the tree there, it looks quite golden. So it's giving me Leo and solar energy there. And if you look at the Hanged Man, he's radiating golden yellowish light as well. So there is a tie-in to this Regulus, Leo, Lyran sort of energy that's out there, that's around us. So the Hanged Man, like if you look at regular tarot, the Hanged Man in a reading, it's representing like a deep awakening or deep transformation. Like it's representing enlightenment. So if you think of like the story of Buddha, so Buddha, he he was a man who was a prince. He'd lived his life so sheltered. He'd had everything that he could ever want because he was a royal prince. But one day he noticed that not everyone was living in the same comfort as him. And in the end, he found like it was a bit too boring, like having everything given to you. So he then decided to become a monk. So a monk who then totally rejects having everything given to you, or in a way you have to rely on others to give stuff because he gave away everything that he had. But the importance of that is it's the focusing on enlightenment, and it's the it's remembering that we need to stop wanting. That's a big thing with Buddhism, and the Buddha. The Buddha teaches us we need to stop wanting. And once we reach this enlightened state of stop wanting, things easily come to us. Nature, the universe provides us with everything that we need. So that is one key thing that I will make you aware of. One, you need to stop wanting this thing so badly. So I know with this Leo energy, like Leos, we want the world, we want the earth, we want the earth to like literally spin around on our little finger. We want to be the center of everyone's universe. We literally, our ruling planet, the sun, that is the center of our solar system as we know it today. And this is kind of why the Leo energy is like this. But yeah, just bear that message in mind. Stop wanting. It's kind of ties in with this other affirmation. Don't chase, attract. So stop trying so hard. Stop wanting so hard. So this is not saying that you can't manifest things. It's saying let things come to you. Be let it let it flow a little more easily. And that ties in with the next card actually. So the next card we have is the Magician, and he's all about manifesting your goals. Okay, so Tom says, "Hi, bro. How are you?" I'm good, thank you, Tom. So the Magician card. So the Magician, he represents the person who is able to tap into the spiritual world and use their spiritual connection to then bring the spirit and etheric world into the physical world. So manifesting their dreams, their desires, their passions, their goals. This is what the magician does. And this is what spirit is teaching us. So this Leo energy, which is tied around Regulus, this energetic portal, that the actual event happened yesterday, but with these portals, the energy is around for quite some time. So don't worry about that. So the Magician card, the message on this card, it says, I manifest perfectly what I desire. I manifest perfectly what I desire. Okay. And And the next thing I want to make you aware of is scrutiny. This is one of the messages which I picked up before the reading. So I wrote this down. So scrutiny. So as the Leo energy comes in, there is like a lot of scrutiny from other people, or there's a lot of scrutiny from ourselves towards other people. It's just a lot of that sort of energy. Like when you're like a Leo, or if you're in that regal mindset, you kind of like looking at every little detail, and you're not wanting anything to fall out of place. You're wanting everything to be perfect, and you're wanting all of your minions to fall into line. And this comes with a lot of scrutiny. And when you're the person who's under the scrutiny, then it's not a nice feeling, really. But this may be some of the energy that we may notice. But the message from Spirit is to just rise above the scrutiny and to, again, just transcend it and use the Hanged Man energy of that enlightened soul, use the magician energy of the master of magics or the master of manifesting. So forget what other people say about you, forget what other people are thinking about you. You need to let that shit go, because that is not important. So that is one of the messages there. So let me pull. With that in mind, I'm going to pull one of the numerology cards. Okay, can you pull a card for me? It says Arcty and Astrology. And SS14E4E said, hi. Hello, can I ask a question? So some people are asking, can I pull a card for them? So yeah, bear one moment. Yeah, Curtis Charles says, also the scrutiny you put on yourself. Yes, that is very true. Hello, Cuz. So can you pull a card for me? So we've had those two major arcana cards, the Hanged Man, the Magician. So the Hanged Man was all about tapping into the Buddha, inner Buddha, and remembering one of the tenets of Buddhism, which is to stop wanting. And it's interesting because those two cards they really seem like they're in opposition to me, because on the one hand, the energy of the Hanged Man card and the Buddha-like energy, that is telling you to stop wanting things and not really hanging on to something, or not really putting your energy into something. And on the other hand, the Magician card is telling you to be a go-getter, and if you want something, send your energy out there. So it's kind of about finding the balance between the two, and life is all about balance. Okay, so a card for somebody who wants it. So we have 1010. 1010. So it says good health and harmonious living. So if that message is for you, just claim it, okay? All right, I'll pull another card for somebody who asked. Hey, Curtis. Yeah, feels so blessed. So Curtis is my cousin. So he's my family, who's also very spiritual, and I'm going to be calling him onto this channel soonish. We're going to do a live stream about spiritual awakenings, because he's been going through a hell of a spiritual awakening. Oh, heavenly, I won't say hell. Okay, so the next card for someone is focus on humanitarian issues. Interesting. 3, 3. So freeze. So if you add those numbers together, then you would get the letter 6. And 6 is kind of what that says about a person. It's kind of about, again, it's kind of sort of Virgo sort of energy where you're very kind of set in your routine. You like things to be a certain way. You like things to be tidy, and you want everything to be, it's perfect. You want a perfect order. You don't like mess or spontaneous stuff happening. You want things to be like a perfect schedule. You want a perfectly arranged home. That's it. But the message on the card, if you're just looking at the message that it says, not adding the numbers together like I just did, then it says focus on humanitarian issues. So go with whatever resonates there. Okay. Okay. The next card we have 4. And 4 is a very special number, especially to myself. So let me just have a look in the book. Look in the book, that rhymes. I don't think this is the right book. But 4, like if you look at 4s in tarot, I believe the 4 of Pentacles is all about stability. So I feel like when it comes to 4s, it's to do with like things coming to balance and things like holding up, holding strong, things setting into place. That's what comes to mind. Oh, well, it literally says that on the card. I should have just read the card. All right, so it says strength and stability is the message of the card. Okay. Okay, Christy Sully says, hi, Christy. Animika says, who is my future husband, partner, wolf from past time, or a new one? Okay, that's interesting. So I can pull you a card, but I can't attest that I'm going to be able to pull an answer for you there. But I can certainly pull you a card. Okay, so you have number 24, domestic tranquility. So that sounds like a positive message to me. So if we add in the numbers together, you'd have 2 and 4, which would equal 6 again, if I'm doing my maths correctly. So again, so this is another person who is into the sort of Virgo vibe where you like things, you like things to be in order. Domestic tranquility. It literally says that on the card. Okay. All right, so next, with the new moon energy that we just had a few days ago, so we've had a new moon portal, we've had this Heart of the Lion alignment as well. So much good energy around us, and it's a perfect time for starting new things. And literally, we had the new year not long ago as well. Okay. So please bear with me if you're waiting for an answer, if you're waiting for me to pull a card for you. Okay, so this card is for Anamika. So this is the card Zeus. So Zeus is an interesting energy. So it says honor. So there's a key here on honor. So I feel like it's also about being graceful, because when we look at Zeus and we look at the story, his connection with Hecate, who is one of my patron deities. So Zeus honored Hecate and did not try to take away what was rightfully hers, because Hecate belonged with the Titans. And when Zeus came in and overthrew all of the other Titans, he honored Hecate by not trying to take anything away from her. So I feel like the message here is kind of to echo that, maybe to rein in a little bit on the lustiness, and maybe again, staying close to the family, making sure that we're not flying too far away from the coop, that sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I wanted to say something else with that one. So we have the numbers 4 and 6 with this one. So again, 4, that one's the number 4. If we just look at that number, that is to do with like stability and things coming into balance. And if we look at number 6, that's about order. So things coming into order. And also, if you're looking at the archetype and deity of Zeus, he's literally the king of the gods. So there's like an authoritativeness there. So I don't know if that authority energy is important to you. Okay. So the next card I'm going to pull. So is Michael the same person who has a crush on me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Oh, that's an interesting question. So I can certainly pull you a card, so I'll let you take from that what you will. Okay. So we have full moon illumination. So this is the fact that we pull in the illumination card tells me that you will get your answer very soon. So pay attention. So the answer may come from a friend, a loved one. It may come in a dream, or you may hear confirmation from spirit. So you may be flicking through the TV, flicking through a video on YouTube, and you may hear a message that resonates very strongly with you, and that is your answer there. So just be open-minded, and tap into your intuition and your gut instincts, and you will find your answer. Okay. Okay. And is Michael the same person who has a crush on me? Yes or no? Oh, so that's the answer that I just had a look at. Chrissy Sully, does Stephen love me, and is he faithful? Can you please ask my question? Okay. I will certainly pull a card for you. See what the goddess has to say on those matters. So we have sacrifice, Hecate's deepening. So there's an emphasis here on giving. So I feel like there may be somebody that you know who's giving more than they're receiving. So I feel like there's a delicate balance that needs to be remade, or I don't even know the proper word, remade, or it needs to be worked on. The balance needs to be worked on, because the message is like sacrifice. So whether it means like giving little offerings to deity, or to whichever form of divine that you believe in. So if there's something that you're unsure about, if you're having issues in the area, maybe giving little offerings to your preferred deities, they may help to alleviate situations. So it's whatever way you want to look at it. If you want to look at it as giving offering to the deity, or if you want to look at it as somebody's giving more than they're taking. Okay. Okay. So Yabo, one says, I have a question. Okay. Thank you all for these questions. Okay. So very interesting question. So yeah, just if the cards haven't answered exactly what you're after, then pay attention to what guidance you receive yourself, because like I'm here, I'm reading some cards, I do pick on some things intuitively, but I'm not like some supernatural person or supernatural being with some amazing gift. I'm just a human, and we all have these spiritual gifts. So it's just a matter of paying attention to your intuition, paying attention to your dreams. So if you want something, if you want some information bad enough, it will come to you if you're patient. And if you're really open to receiving the answer, because a lot of the time we ask these questions, but we kind of we put the answer to the forefront of our minds of what we want to receive, and in a way we're trying to manifest that answer. So you need to be open to the real answer, whatever it is. Okay. So the next card we have is the Cave. Okay, so this, when I read this card, it's always quite interesting. So it, the the message of this card is incubation. So incubation, that is kind of like resting or reviving, recuperating. So this is a message for somebody. So somebody needs some rest. So you don't need to literally go find a cave. You don't need to do that. You don't need to hibernate like a bear. But spirit is telling you to pay attention to your health, to your body, and get some me time. Practice some more self-care, because it is needed if you're gonna recuperate enough to do whatever goal that you have planned next. Rest is needed first. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the Crystal Tarot now. Let's see what Spirit has to say around the Heart of the Lion alignment. So is there any more information for us around the Heart of the Lion alignment with Regulus? Please let us know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oops. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Oh, interesting. So we have yet another major arcana card. So I'm not playing with you guys. I'm really not playing at all. Or rather, the universe is really not playing right now. There's so much powerful energy around us. And the divine, the angels, our ancestors, our our galactic star family, everyone is really chipping in around this time. There's a lot of powerful high energy around, and the star is the next card. Okay, so the message on the card, it says, I am inspired and positive about the future. So mindset is always a very important thing, because literally as a man thinketh, so he is. So that is an old, very old saying. And basically it's just saying, watch the way you think, because your mind is the most dangerous weapon. Or if you're using the mind in the right way, your mind is your greatest blessing, because literally whatever you're thinking about, you're sending that out into the universe, and the universe will then mirror that back to you and bring you what you're wanting. So to the person who's always thinking about what they don't want, so if you're an anxious person who's very anxious and you're always thinking about, oh, I'm worried about this happening, I don't want this to happen, and I don't want that to happen, and I don't want that, and I don't want that, don't want. So if that's all you're sending out to the universe, so all the universe hears is, oh, so and so wants that, send them that, because that's all they're thinking about. So you need to reframe your mindset. If you're wanting to manifest something, if you're wanting less of the bad shit, then stop giving all your attention to it. Focus on what you do want, and the universe will pay you back. So I am inspired and positive about the future. That is the message of that card. So the Star, again, the Star is also a very spiritual card. So this represents for me like a person who's very in tune with their emotions, maybe somewhat empathic, but they're very intuitive as well. So that is a very positive card. Can you tell me, have I met my soulmate yet? So I can pull a card for you regarding that, if you like, but I can't promise that I'll be able to provide you with that answer. But I'll certainly pull you a card. Okay, so again, this is another Crystal Tarot card. Okay, so the card we have, the Wheel of Fortune. So that is one of the most positive cards in the deck. So I trust whatever the universe brings me. That is what the card says. So I would read into that what you will, okay? But that sounds very positive. Okay. And Christy Solly asking, is Stephen my soulmate? Again, I can certainly pull a card for you, although I can't promise that I'll be able to give you that answer. But again, like I've been saying, if the card doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't give you the answer that you're after, send that question out into the universe and listen for the answer, because the answer will come. Oh wow, a card just literally jumped out. Okay. Oh wow. So we have 444. So this is an angel number, 444. So it says responsibility, practicality, honesty, and wisdom. Wow. So these sound like a lot of things that you would want from a soulmate. So responsibility, practicality, honesty, and wisdom. Honesty is such a biggie when it comes to any form of relationship. Honesty and openness and wisdom. Wisdom is like something that is running quite short in this day and age, because a lot of people like to think they're so clever, but actually putting that knowledge and their so-called cleverness into practical use, actually acting on their knowledge. Many people are not so good at that, but this card would suggest that the person who you're involved with, the person that you know, they have honesty and wisdom and more. So that is a positive sign. So read into that what you will. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go with another one of the Hecate cards here. So this is the Hecatean Oracle, or the Oracle of the Hecatean Path. My campaign. So we're going to pull another one of those cards. So Goddess Hecate, what other messages have you got for us at this time? What big energies do we need to be aware of? Please let us know. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So I feel like this card is quite a mysterious card. So we have the epithet or aspect of Hecate, Prostistos Primordial. So the message here is origins. So it's very interesting because we're talking about tapping into cosmic energy. We're talking about starting afresh, starting something new, or going back to the beginning, looking into things a bit deeper. So I'm going to actually look at what the book meaning of this one is, because it's a very mysterious card. Okay, so let's see what it's number one, that card as well. So ones would suggest, yeah, beginning, the start of something, a birth of something. So it says, Hecate's true origins are lost in time. We all originate from a single point in the creation matrix, and Hecate exists both at the very beginning and at the very end. Where do you originate from? On your path to Hecate, many of us are focused on where they're heading, in navigating one crossroad after another, but we need to look back and make peace with the past to understand the present and plan for the future. Wow. Okay. So the message, so it sounds like make of it what you will, but the message that I'm getting from that is kind of like sort your shit out and pay attention to where you're heading. Okay. All right. So that kind of ties into the next message that I picked up intuitively. So the message is inner conviction. So conviction is such a very important thing for us all. So why is conviction important? So conviction is all about like walking the walk or talking the talk, kind of not half-assing something, kind of really being passionate, showing our passion, showing our drive, putting our energy into something. And this is a very leonine. So this is a very Leo-like trait to showing conviction, like putting the energy behind something. Okay. So I want to pull another one of the numerology cards. Let's see what other energy is around us right now. Okay, I'm going to just pull it out that way. Okay, what we have here, number 8. Wow. So number 8, again, that's going back to manifesting for me, because number 8 always reminds me of the Lion's Gate. So it says abundance and provision. So I don't know who needs to hear that message, but for anyone who's asking about abundance or wondering where provisions are coming from, this is a message from the universe saying that it's on its way. Okay. And keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Christy says thank you. You're welcome. Kushbu says, is Paresh call Kushbu in this month and in this year? He can marry Kushbu from India. So I'm not 100% sure what that question is, but I can certainly pull a card for you. Okay, so let's go back to the crystal tarot. Let's pull one of those. Right, so this card is for you. What answer do you have for them? Ace of Swords and Sujilite. Ooh. So this is the card which has came through. So wands in the reading would suggest beginnings. Oops, I've just dropped a crystal. Oops. Oopsie it is. It was a pen. So let's have a quick look. So wands, when you receive wands in a reading, it's about achieving potential. So achieving potential or opening up to an opportunity. So it shows that it's some form of new beginning or opportunity or potential. So Ace of Swords for me is representing a powerful force, which is becoming or arriving. So this powerful force is going to have quite a lot of sway in your situation. So I'm kind of feeling that you're probably going to want this energy on your side. So whether this energy is a person, so if you know quite a strong-willed person who's around this energy, if they have some form of influence on it, then I feel like then if they're on side, then it's going to make things a lot easier for you. Okay, so the Ace of Swords. Okay. Let me have another one of the Hecatean Oracle cards. Hecatean Oracle, what else have you got for us? Goddess Hecate, what else do we need to be aware of? Because it's a dark time of the year. We've came through the New Year portal. We're heading to Imbolc. It's very cold, especially if you're in certain places on the earth. It's quite cold unless you have like a tropical or warm climate. Okay, so the card that we have here is this card. So this is one of the aspects of Hecate. So it says, Epiphanestate Theia, most manifest goddess. So the message here is about diversity. That's interesting. So I don't know who needs to hear that message, but that is an important. The message is about diversity. So if somebody is worried, if someone's situation revolves around diversity, or if that one of the issues is lack of diversity, let me read what the book has to say about this one. Where did I just put the book? Oh, that's where I put it. Okay, so diversity, let's have a look. So it's number 26, this card. So 2 and 6 is 8. So 8, again, that number takes us back to the abundance. Let me also see. So having a look at the numerology. So number eight, the number eight is about bringing positive change. It's also about mastery, action, and accomplishment. Interesting. So number 26. So we no longer live in an ancient romanticized world, and neither does the goddess. She is a goddess of all the ages. She is still relevant to her many followers today, whether she comes to you as a virginal maiden or a wizened crone, animal-headed and or primal, or ethereal and nurturing. She is still the goddess. Take the time to explore and understand her mysteries and her forms. Find the balance between history and personal gnosis that influences your experience. Interesting. So, yeah. So, if you're a person who is into witchcraft or paganism, then yeah, I feel like the message is about looking at the different aspects of Hecate because she has a lot of them. So if that isn't your cup of tea, then maybe have a look at the aspects of yourself. So we all have different facets, or we all have different parts of ourselves. We always show, like when we're with our friends, we show one part of ourselves to them, to a certain friend, or when we're with family or loved ones, we show a different part of ourselves to them. So I think this could also be a reference to that. So taking a look at the different aspects of ourselves and becoming more aware of those masks that we have. Okay. Right. Let's pull another one of these. Okay, so if you're Kushbu so if you're wanting to know about if you should marry a person, I have pulled a card for you, so I'd suggest that you ask the universe and pay attention. The answer will come in some form or another. So it may be that you hear somebody speaking. You may hear people speaking on the street, and they may be having a certain conversation where some part of their conversation really jumps out to you, and that answer is provided from spirit. So if that resonates with you, then you know that answer comes from the universe. Okay, so I would pay attention. So ask the universe, and the answer will come. Like, and man, uh, that's a difficult name to say. It's Mangan 6535. Like, five, can you tell me whether there is some black magic which makes me ill? Okay, name is Gagan. Okay. Is there some black magic that's making you ill? Okay, that's an interesting question. So I will pull a card for you regarding that. So I've came onto the Hecate Oracle. I feel that that question is quite a deep question and very important one. So for this question, I will pull one card from this oracle and one from the Crystal Tarot. Okay, so Goddess, is there some black magic which is being worked on Gagan? Please, can you give us your guidance? Thank you. Okay, so the card that we have here is we have an epithet of the goddess, which is Anessa Fam Makidon. Queen of Witches. So that's interesting. And the message is sovereignty. And literally, that is one of the final messages that I have for you. I've written that down. But there is a reminder here. So I think what it seems to me is like the message from the goddess is to own your sovereignty. Like when you truly own your sovereignty, when you reclaim that, pick it up, wear it, hold it close, then nobody can have any power over you, because you're the only person who can affect your energy. You're the only person who can get past your shield. Okay. But I will pull another card from the other oracle. But I will read, because this card also taps into the word which I channeled earlier. So I want to. Sovereignty is a very important message for a lot of us right now. So it says, whether we walk our path alone or join others, we become our own priests and priestesses. Your power is your own personal power and individual relationship with the realm of spirit and the divine. Your individual relationship with Hecate is the most important aspect of walking your path. All roads lead to Rome, but we are all coming from different places. Aid the journey of others if you are moved or inspired to. That said, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. So that was the answer from that card. So I'm not sure if that has given you any answers. So you just take what resonates with you. If it hasn't answered the question, then have a look at the next card. If not, turn that answer to the universe, and the universe will send you your answer. Okay, Spirit, is there some black magic which has been worked on Gagan? Please let us know. I'm going to say black magic. I just mean a hateful and harmful person who is using magic, because I don't believe in actual black magic. Magic is not good or bad. It's the person who uses it who is evil or good. Okay. But is there some harmful magic which has been placed here? Please let us know. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Justice card. Okay, that's interesting. So the card we have here is Justice, and it says, I speak my truth in fairness to myself. That is interesting. I speak my truth in fairness to myself. So I feel like this is the universe's way of saying karma. Karma is real. So, So I feel like if you're under the impression that there is some form of curse or black magic or harm being sent your way, I feel like you may be adding to it, because I feel like deep down there is something. I feel like if you've wronged another person, you may be feeling like you kind of deserve something bad to happen. But the ultimate answer from Spirit is justice will be served. And at the end of the day, if harmful energy has been sent your way, then you need to surrender to divine, and the divine will be able to release that from you. But the message of the card is, I speak my truth in fairness to myself. So yeah, think have a think about what is fair and what is deserved, and who deserves the karma in this situation. Okay. All right. And okay, the problem is that my test reports come normal, but my health is deteriorating. I am underweight and suffering from abdominal issues. Okay, that I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. So the numerology cards. So I'm not sure what to suggest there. I would suggest if you are having a health problems to seek medical guidance. Although that there is alternative things that you can do to go alongside medical guidance, but I would never tell you if to rely on alternative medicine, on just alternative medicine if you're suffering from something severe. Okay. So the next card. Right, what else is around us all right now? What else do we need to be aware of? Please let us know. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So motivation for success, number 14. And that's 1 and 4 equals 5, which is all about change, instability, conflict, and times of change and ups and downs. Times of change, ups and downs. That sounds about right for us all right now. So I feel like at the moment, over the past, I feel like a lot of us have been on a bit of a roller coaster. So we're going through some very high highs and some very low lows. But I think this is where the message from earlier comes in. We need to hold that inner conviction, that conviction in ourselves, and hold true to our sovereignty. So hold true to the sovereignty. We are all sovereign beings. We all have a divine spark. We're all connected with a divine being. So have we all have so much love and power within ourselves, which we can use to make our success. So we can change the world around us, but it's just a matter of focusing. It's like what I was saying earlier, to the people who are always focusing on something negative, if you're always focusing on something that's going wrong, or if you're always thinking, I don't want this to happen, I don't want that to happen, I don't want, and all the universe hears is, oh, that person says they want that, because that's what they're thinking about all the time. So instead of focusing on the negative or the thing that you don't want, spend more time focusing on what you do want, and the universe will hear that and give you what you need and want. Okay? And bring the success. Okay, so there's a lot. We literally had the Wheel of Fortune earlier on in the reading as well. So there's been a lot of major arcana cards in this reading. We had the Magician earlier on. Again, that's about manifestation, about tapping into the ether, tapping into the magical realm, to the spirit world, and bringing that into the tangible world, bringing things into a physical form, manifesting what we want and what we desire. And there was also the Hanged Man, which is talking about going through a transition, going through an enlightenment, going through an awakening. So there's so much energy. And I know that it's a bit of a roller coaster for a lot of us, but if you hold in there, if you keep, just don't give up, really. You just need to hold that Leo energy, that strength. The strength of Leo, Regulus, the brightest star in Leo, that Leo represents so much strength. So all of us have so much strength, but this energy which is coming through, it's giving us even more strength. So it's giving us extra strength to do what must be done. Okay, and I'm going to leave that there. So I'm wishing you all brightest blessings and thank you. And I hope to see you soon. Check out some of the other videos. Brightest blessings. Okay. So I see a couple more questions here. So Gagan says, also, I have weird dreams like my mother attacking me and a gang of people entering my home. I am being troubled in my dreams. Oh gosh. So yeah, that doesn't sound good. Okay, so when it comes to weird dreams, maybe spend some time journaling, because when we're having like really weird and messed up dreams, it's our subconscious mind trying to get our attention. So it wants us to spend some time like either meditating. So if we spend more time meditating, we'll be able to unravel what the dream means. Or if you find it difficult to meditate, maybe just spend time with a pen and paper and start journaling all of your thoughts and write down what you think the dream would mean. Even if you have no idea, force yourself to write something down. So start writing and keep going until something makes sense. Okay, so Brianna asked a question, does C love me? And so Abba1 says, can I please ask a question? So yeah, you can ask a question. So I can pull a card for you both, but I can't promise that I will be able to answer the question, but I will certainly pull a card for you, okay? So let's go with the Crystal Tarot. Okay, so Brianna is asking, does C love me? So when it comes to questions like that, that is a very important question. So I would tell you to take the answer of whatever message comes from the card with a grain of salt and go with your intuition. 9 times out of 10, like you already know the answer to questions like this. Like if you really go deep down into your gut instincts, into your intuition. But I'll pull that card for you. What do we need to know? Okay, so we have 3 of Pentacles. Malachite is crystal. So Malachite, it's interesting that that crystal is attached to this. So the card says, when I show my work, others give support. So that sounds quite positive. However, Malachite in the crystal realm, when you look at the metaphysical properties of Malachite is like a mirror. So when you have Malachite around, So I'm not sure if this is like a metaphor for the person, but when you have malachite around, malachite enhances whatever energy is already there. So if there is a lot of good energy, if there's a lot of love there, if there's happiness, love, joy, then malachite will amplify that and make more of the same. However, if there's a lot of negativity there, if there's a lot of hate, resentment, etc., if there's a lot of that there, then the malachite will amplify that and make more of that. So I'd do what you will with that answer, okay? Okay, so Sayaba says, is there a third person trying to ruin my relationship? Okay, so I will pull a card for you, but I can't guarantee that I'll be able to answer that question. But again, like I've been saying to everyone, ask the universe. If you don't get the answer that you're expecting or that you know deep down, if you're still unsure, ask the universe. The answer will come to you eventually. You just need to pay attention to the signs. Okay, is there a third person trying to ruin this relationship? Okay. Okay, so the card that we have here is Temperance. This is the card. So I find clarity through calm. Okay, so Spirit is asking you to kind of maybe to take a step back from the situation and try to look at it from further away, kind of to try to look at the bigger picture, but also Temperance, that there is an emphasis on like being really self-aware and aware of our surroundings. Okay, I'm gonna grab the book on that one because I feel like with it being a major arcana card, I think there's a lot of depth here. So I feel like there's something very important that needs to come out of this. So the meaning, it says, the temperance shows the need for balance and accuracy when life feels precarious. There may be many demands upon you, but you can take control. You may need to budget or plan your time to create more stability. An additional meaning is playing the part of the peacekeeper or negotiator. So the power message is, I find clarity through calm. Okay. So we can look at the number as well. So we have 10, 14. So 1 and 4 is reduced to 5. So 5s in the reading are about change and instability and conflict. Okay. So again, it's reminding us times of change, ups and downs. Okay, so that is the basic guidance. So take what resonates and please do your own searching, meditate on that question, ask the universe and listen out for an answer. Okay. And Sarah's Psalm says, will Zine contact me soon? Okay, so I can pull a card for you if you like, but I can't, like I've been saying to everyone, I cannot guarantee that I will be able to answer that question for you. But I'll certainly pull a card to try. Will Zine contact me soon? Okay. You're welcome, Sayaba. Will Zine contact me soon? All right. Okay, so we have this card. Wands. Five of Wands. I stand my ground and look for peace. Interesting. So there's that card, and like I said, five is all. When you have five, the numerology of five in a reading, it's about change, instability, and conflict. So again, it's echoing times of ups and downs. So I stand my ground and look for peace. So wands in a reading, wands are to do with they with they tie in with the element of fire. So it may be that if you know a person who is a fire sign, they may be involved with the situation. So the fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. But the main message here is, I stand my ground and look for peace. So yeah, standing firm and not letting anyone shake your inner peace. Okay, so that is the guidance. And Jason Case is asking, is there a curse on me for my lower left back? Because I have been trying, because I have been having lower back pain. Okay. Okay, so I can pull you a card. Okay, I will pull a card to see what guidance comes through. Okay, Spirit, do you have an answer to this question? So again, I ask that you take whatever answer comes through with a grain of salt, and if it resonates with you, then good. If not, I ask you to ask the universe, and eventually you will receive an answer to your question directly. Okay. Okay. So we have Page of Cups. Okay. Page of Cups. So Page of Cups often will represent either a young boy or a girl. So it says, I am as young as I choose to feel. I am as young as I choose to feel. Okay. So that's interesting when the question was regarding health and feeling pain. So I am as young as I choose to feel. So I feel like the universe is reminding us that when it comes to things like pain, that we sometimes hold pain, and sometimes the pain in our body is emotions that we have not processed and we've not released. So when we're holding on to anger, when we're holding on to resentment, sometimes these things can be stored in the body, and we hold it onto the body as pain. So I'm not saying that this will answer all of your questions or it will make everything better, but I'm saying it can't hurt to try. So if you have a think about if you have any anger, resentment, if you're able to maybe write a letter, or if it's a person that you can speak to about that situation, if you tell them and try to resolve that issue. So the important thing is to just work on releasing that stuck energy, and hopefully that will make you feel younger, and hopefully that will release the feelings of pain. Okay, but also at the same time, if you're having pain, I would suggest that you seek medical advice as well. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. So I hope everyone did gain something from this live stream, these readings and the card pull. So I wish you all brightest blessings, sending lots of love and light. And check out some of the other videos. Farewell.